Hi everyone! I wanted to do a quick update on how I turn perler beads into enamel dots. I do have an old video where I shared my process on baking these, but this time I want to share how I've changed it to make it a little bit easier for myself, and I thought maybe you guys would be interested as well. I also got some feedback last time that it took too long to explain it, so this time it'll be a very short video. This is what you need. Perler beads, these are the ones I had from over 4 years ago. These silicone mats, and I will link that down below for where I got them on Amazon. And then 2 trays, baking sheets that I use that just fit the silicone mats, and I will share with you how I do these a lot quicker and a lot easier, because last time I did these, I just put them on parchment paper and it was just harder to stand them up without knocking them over. And with these little silicone shapes in this mat or shell, I forgot, mold, that's what they're called, it's a lot easier now for me to put them into each of these. Now, I've done this in different ways. I tried baking them for shorter, baking them for longer, you know, every variation possible. So here is my recommended baking time. It will be 350 for 30 minutes. It's the same amount of time as last time, but it's a little hotter. And then all I do is I take a bunch of beads, I just spread them out in the first go around, and then I will put only 1 perler bead in each mold, tiny mold, and I do stand them up, because if you lay them flat, which, you know, if they're on its side versus on the circle bit, it does become an oval versus the circle that enamel dots are shaped. So I will spend time to stand these up, but I'm not as concerned as previously, where if I just accidentally hit the ones next to them on the parchment paper, they will just kind of fall over. So that's the first step. And then basically I put these trays into the oven for 350 again for 30 minutes, and they come out all in their little circle shapes. This is what they look like when they first come out. They're very hot, obviously, so I wouldn't touch them for a while. The clear beads always look like they have bubbles in them, but that's pretty normal. Once that becomes an opaque color, I then know it's safe to touch them because they're cooling down right now. So now that they're cooled, I will bring both trays to my desk, and I haven't fully figured out how would I say this, get them out, because you could always just pull them out one at a time, but my technique is to turn them over and use this tool. It's a We Are Memories Keeper poker. This end is the sticky side to help pick up sequins. So I just go down the line and smush each of the molds and push out the different, well, each individual one. I also thought of using this brayer. I think this is gonna work too. And then I also use a dryer sheet, because they end up being very staticky. But as you can see, most of them come out already. And then I just tap the rest into the tray just to try to get them out. And that's plenty. Use a dryer sheet, just rub it to get them to unstatic themselves. And that gets me a ton of them done at once. I can't remember how many it gets done, but I'll list it somewhere on the screen. how many you get for one of these at a time. So I want to show you what the difference between my former method of doing enamel perler beads on top of parchment paper versus through this mold. So this one is when it was on parchment paper. It has a flatter bottom. It's flat, but these have a curved bottom, and I think you can see a little bit of that curve between the two side by side. I'm going to try to show you what it looks like. I have this little sticky tool. So I think you can see how they're curved on both sides, and that's what makes it a little bit different. There's the shiny side, of course, and then the other side has a little minor curve. Whereas this one, it has a flat bottom, has really no curve to it. So that's the big difference. I hope this was informative and it gave you guys some ideas on how to make some perler beads into enamel dots quicker. It took me a couple of days, but I finally finished this entire tub of perler beads and turning them into enamel dots. This one had 11,000 beads in them, and I think it took me a couple years, but I did stop for a very long time in between. So now that those are all turned into enamel dots, they do end up in a tray like this, but I will end up sorting these out to their different colors into categories. I also did cut some of the perler beads in half and got smaller ones, so I even have now a smaller size of enamel dots. Just to show you really quickly how I store them, I have this plastic container from Michaels. It has 17 slots, and I couldn't give each of the colors its own slot, so I did pair them up with a similar color so that it would all fit into this one. So eventually I will sort all these into this, and just wanted to share how I store them. I hope you enjoyed this video on how I found a simpler way to bake my perler beads into enamel dots, and now I probably have enamel dots for the rest of my life. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.